Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden. This is Shifting Perspectives. I am in a new spot today and I'm loving my new spot. I just started to settle into the full apartment where I've been living for the last year and a half, and I'm no longer in my kitchen, so I'm actually able to enjoy my space. I'm going to have artwork behind me soon. So, today I am talking about your team. And this is a concept that I came up with that really did a lot to change my mindset. It really changed my mindset. And changing mindsets is all I do. And I really want to focus in on your internal team. So we have three life titans inside of us whenever we sit down and do anything. Our function, our everything revolves around three major parts of our individual. We think that there is us. The perspective that most people have is I am me. And that's fantastic. But then there's the subconscious mind. And a lot of people look at the subconscious mind and they don't know what it is. They're not really clear. They think the subconscious mind is just everything that happens without us thinking about it. And that's not true. That is not true at all. The subconscious mind is a creature, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But then there's another part of us that we never talk about, that we never explore, and that is your identity. And there's actually, and those are your three life titans. There's you, and this is the conscious awareness. This is your corporeal body version. So there's you. Every time you engage, every time you talk to somebody, every time you interact on a social status, you sitting here right now watching me is your conscious awareness. That is what I refer to as the self. And then you have your identity, and your identity is all the things you want, all the things you desire, all the things you imagine, dream about, all the things you have a bucket list for. That's your identity. And that is separate from your conscious awareness. That is separate from who you are, because you're not consciously plugged into your identity many times. Most of us are rejecting the identity and closing that off because we were taught that tuning into our identity is selfish. That's really it. Is anytime we gave attention to our identity, we were accused of being selfish. So there is this expectation of, oh, well, I don't want to be selfish. So we ignore our identity and we shove it away because our society has conditioned us to think that that is selfishness. Selfish does not exist. In my opinion, in my perspective, in my world, the word does not exist because it is a word that bullies and abusers use to get attention from you. I'm going to really say that again. The concept of selfishness is only from an abuser telling you you need to pay attention to me. And that's really it, which is why in my world, selfish doesn't exist, is because I don't allow abusers to come into my life and have them tell me what I should or shouldn't do so they can get attention from me. It doesn't work. Absolutely not. If I want to sit down and spend time with myself and focus on my identity and my mental health, that's my priority. That's what we all should be doing. So the very first thing that I do when I walk into my world, when I bring somebody into my world, is we get rid of the word selfish. It doesn't exist. There are no bullies here demanding that you not give them their attention. That's narcissism, and we do not cater to narcissism here. The third titan, your third life titan, is your subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind has no consciousness. It is a machine and it is a robot. It is an AI. Really? Oh my God, is it an AI? But the other thing about the subconscious mind is it is 100% an entity that was evolved from the Ice Age. So this is an obsolete robot that runs and processes your entire system. Now, your subconscious mind has an agenda. All of these things, your life titans have an agenda. Your identity's agenda is pursuit of definition. All your identity wants to do is define the self. And all your conscious awareness wants is happiness. So we all know about pursuit of happiness. And that is your conscious awareness. That's your conscious mind, the self, saying, that's my pursuit. I want happiness, which is why we all talk about the pursuit of happiness. But we're not talking about what the identity wants. And the identity's agenda is a pursuit of definition. The identity has to define itself so it knows what and who it is. Unfortunately, when we were children, every time we sought to define ourselves, there was an abuser telling us that that's not right. That wasn't how they wanted us to be. They should and shouldn't us to death. And we very quickly learned from that perspective abuse, that in order to have our identity, we would have to lose our acceptance. We would have to lose our belonging. We would have to lose our parents in many cases. So we learned that it wasn't safe to embrace our identity. It wasn't safe to define ourselves. And then in many cases, we were accused of being selfish for even pursuing the definition of the self. The identity runs off of love. 100% everything we love is defined, that defines the identity. So every time we embrace something we loved doing, we were accused of being selfish. And we were taught that it wasn't safe to pursue love. Ooh, those are big words, right? We were taught that it was not safe to pursue love. So we shut it down, and we had to supplement other definitions of love, like being needed got supplemented instead. Being a servant to somebody, that very much replaced love. So we have all of these other toxic beliefs that replaced the definition of love because we were not allowed to have love, because that's selfish. The subconscious mind had a different idea of pursuit, though. The subconscious mind's pursuit is of safety, and that's all it wants. The subconscious mind doesn't give a crap about anything. It has no conscious awareness. Its only purpose is to keep you safe. And it will go through life and categorize, this isn't safe, so this needs to go away. This isn't safe, so this is a problem. And then the subconscious mind will literally rip out everything inside of you that it deems isn't safe. And that includes your identity. So if you were taught that your identity is selfish, then you're also learning that it isn't safe to be yourself. So you rip out your identity and you throw it away. And that's what we do. Now you are looking at being steered into a life of inauthenticity because we've been conditioned to be afraid of our own self, which is why so many of us play music, look for background noise, subconsciously insert drama and problems into our lives to keep us away from our identity and our self. Now, this programming is deep into you. So when you sit down to meditate, your subconscious mind is screaming, going, but it isn't safe. It isn't safe. You're going to be alone with yourself. And you will develop monkey mind. It will distract you from the silence to keep you moving so you won't look at the identity, because that's selfish and that's not safe, because it isn't safe to love yourself, because that's selfish. And if you love yourself, then you won't be accepted. You have to choose now between a place to belong and acceptance and your own love. So that's why a lot of us as adults end up with a place in life where we're not living authentically. We are living instead according to what we were told we should be doing, because for safety, for the sake of safety, we are prioritizing what everybody else wants, including over ourselves, for a chance to belong somewhere. Belonging is very powerful, and it comes at the expense of the knowing. The knowing is the state of mind when you have defined yourself so solidly that you have confidence, that you're calm, that you know who you are, that if someone comes along and says, you shouldn't do that, and they give you noise, you can go, that's noise. And you have this massive confident barrier around you, between you and the world, so that as people come to you and they bombard you with their bullshit, it doesn't sway you. You are steadfast and you are solid, like this massive pillar that's just dug deep down into sand. So as the ocean comes in, it doesn't even faze you. It just completely rolls all off of you. Now, if you don't have that deep rooted, deep pillar going into the sand, every time the tide comes in, every time the storm comes, you're going to be pushed over. You're going to fall down. You're going to lose sight of yourself because you're being bombarded with outside perspectives, outside opinions, outside beliefs, people threatening you, saying, if you want to be loved, if you want to be received by me, then you have to be needed by me. And if I don't need you, well, then what good are you? And that's not healthy. That's not authentic. That's not anything any of us can use. But we were conditioned very deeply to think and believe that way, which is why we are down this path of unalignment, misalignment, and inauthentic living. So the Healing Garden's entire function, entire purpose is to get you back on track, is to get you from inauthentic living where you're more focused on belonging than being accepting yourself. So my entire program, everything I do starts with the healing journey plan, and the whole goal is to see where you are, where you are right now, where people have put you, and where you want to go, where you want to get to. Where you want to get to is actually your authentic truth, because that's what you desire. So right now you're probably living a life that's been deemed what you should be living by all of your abusers. And over here, where you want to get to is your truth and your perspective and your reality. You want to be that solid pillar in the ground that doesn't get altered by emotions or opinions of others. You want to hear the opinions of others and be completely when you hear them, and it doesn't affect you at all. That is probably what you want. Elizabeth, you may laugh. I have my daughter here, and I made that sound, and I saw her immediately stifle a laugh. she thought it was the cat when I went, eh. Oh, I spooked the cat when I went, eh. And so authenticity, like I said, authenticity. So when you have all of this together, it really is basically taking you from this derailed, I'm living a life that my mother said I had to live. And you're basically saying no more. I would rather do what I want to do. That's what the midlife crisis is. That's why my target audience is basically people who are in their midlife crisis. I don't believe in midlife crisis. That's societal gaslighting. You're not having a midlife crisis. Your identity is actually going, I can't take it anymore. And it's waking up and it's objecting to all the suppression. That's what your midlife crisis is. It's an objection to the suppression. That's a liberation. That is not at all a midlife crisis. That's societal gaslighting. So call it for what it really is. It's your identity waking up going, I can't take it anymore. I can't breathe. I'm so suppressed. And especially when you start a business, oh my God, businesses have a way of reaching right into you and pulling you out and saying, you want to run a business, you've got to mirror your authenticity. But if you've been suppressed, and that's what imposter syndrome is. That's suppression. That's a society telling you, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. Oh, fuck that shit. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. We're going to get your power back. So start with the healing journey plan. Absolutely. And I'm available for texting. I'm available for phone calls. And then once you do that, I absolutely make available the Healing Garden Starter Pack, which is basically everything you need to get you started. Now, my methods are not just holistic. My methods are not just psychology. I do everything. I am huge on cherry picking bits from Buddhism, bits from Hinduism. I pull from chakra energy and Reiki healing. I pull from positive affirmations. I pull from psychology. I do a lot of pulling from psychology. And then I pull from my own theories and my own healing journey that worked for me. I focus on mindset and basically using manifestation to heal you. And a lot of people, when they get into manifestation, they focus on getting possessions. And I went, no, we're going to use this to actually heal you and expedite your healing. So I focus a lot on getting you basically the right mindset. A lot of what I do is mindset based. But my mindset based is not just positive thinking, it's psychology, it's physics, and then it's philosophy. So my mindset work is 100% based on psychology, manifestation, physics, and philosophy. So, oh yeah, I'm hardcore when it comes to mindset development. I really need to embrace this concept of I'm a mindset coach, but my mindset isn't just positive affirmations. And I really need to just get those words into my mouth. So the results that you see with my stuff is basically we take your life titans, your identity, your subconscious mind, and you. And here's the problem. The problem is you have been pitted against yourself. all of your life so that you become an enemy to your subconscious mind and your identity becomes attacked by your subconscious mind and your conscious awareness becomes a prisoner to your subconscious mind. So you've got these three massive life titans, all with massive godlike powers, and they're all attacking you. They're all working against each other. I step in and I say, we're going to turn this into a team effort. And I'm going to show you that each one of these pieces of you actually has a purpose. And everyone is basically trying to do the job of everybody else. And that's the problem. The subconscious mind, the conscious awareness, the self needs to be the captain. You need to be the manager of the system. The identity needs to be the navigator. The identity is the navigator. The identity is the one saying, we're going to go here and this is our heading. And the subconscious mind is the security system. Now, what's happened is the security system basically took over ages ago when you were a child, when you were a toddler, probably when you were 2 to 3 years old. The subconscious mind in your security system completely mutinied. That's it. Your subconscious mind mutinied. Your security system picked up the flintlock and went, we're going to take the ship for ourselves to ensure its safety. And it overthrew the identity, the navigator. It threw the navigator in the brig. It took over the captain and bound and gagged and dumbed him down and threw that into the brig. And now your security system runs your ship. Security systems are not good at running ships. And that's the problem. So I step in, and the first thing I do is I soothe and calm down that security system. I take everybody out of the brig. I free the captain. The captain needs a lot of TLC to kind of like, it's all right. I know this is really, they were abusive. Your subconscious mind is very abusive to you. So we bring the captain back and we reinstate the order of the ship. And then the identity gets to be the navigator again. So we've got all of the working pieces back in place and things settle down. So I turn your entire life titans and your internal system into a working, managing team so that you are in control. And the kind of results you see is your emotional turmoil goes away. Your mental illnesses vanish completely. They really do. You see calm, you see order restored, you see self-fulfillment come back into your life. You feel acceptance, you feel belonging. You gain the knowing, the belonging, and the authority. And when you gain the knowing, that's when you gain full definition of who you are with confidence. When you gain the belonging, you know where you belong, where you're going, and you know how to get there. And you get there and you just sit back and you're like, this is my space. That's the belonging. It's knowing where you belong, who you are, and you don't let anyone touch that from you. That's the belonging. The authority is your defense system, your ability to communicate your boundaries, to defend your system properly without your subconscious mind interfering. It's your ability to step up and say, no, you can give me all your opinions all you want. And I know perspective. I know it's your opinion and it's absolutely irrelevant to me. Thank you for playing. Have a nice day. That is confidence. That is the knowing, the belonging, and the authority. And that's what you gain with my system. Absolute, solid definition of who you are, what you want, where you're going, and your emotions, your subconscious mind, your mental illnesses go away because your captain is in charge now, not your subconscious mind. Your fear system is gone. You are who you are. And I get you there. That is what I do. Book a call. Absolutely. If you're shy, I love texting. I'm a very gentle person. I absolutely love helping people. Let's figure out what I can do for you. So absolutely, please book a discovery call. And once we are finished, you will get the Healing Garden Starter Plan. And or the Healing Garden Starter Pack. And that's everything you need to start nurturing your identity back into place, to start getting your navigating back up and running, to start getting your captain running its ship. So thank you so much for your time. And may the kindest of words always find you. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my newsletter, and book that call. Thank you.